everyone, and welcome to another session of your National Educational Cycle. This is Alejandra speaking. I'm your TL, Audit and Compliance, and in this session, we'll be speaking about the exchange standards. We already mentioned them in previous sessions. We mentioned that part of the audit system and what we will be checking is that you guys are delivering these standards. So, what are they? First of all, what is a standard? A standard is a level of quality. So when we speak about the exchange standards, we're speaking about the level of quality of our programs. When we deliver on our standards, our EPs go through the experience that was promised to them on the first place. There are 16 overall exchange standards, and these are divided on the phase that the EP is going through. So there's the preparation standards, which are the ones that you do before the experience standard that you do while the experience is taking place, and the post-experience standards, the as you can guess by the name, is the standards that we have to do once the EP is back. As you can notice, some of these standards must be delivered by the home entity, and some of them must be delivered by the host entity. So make sure that you know which ones there are and what you have to do. For the first phase, there are the preparation standards. There are 8 standards that you must be delivering in this part. You have a timeline for this, and these happen before the first day of work. All of these happen before the exchange officially starts. So don't be like all chilled out and think like, oh, I don't have anything to do until the EP is going to the other country or whatever. You have things to do before the exchange officially starts, so make sure you're doing them. There are 8, as I mentioned. 3 of them must be performed or delivered by the home entity, and 5 of them by the host entity. So if you're the home entity, you should be doing the personal goal setting, the outgoing preparation. This is usually done on a seminar, and making sure that your EP has insurance. If you're the host entity, you should be having an expectation setting so they don't arrive and don't have anything. Um, they're not prepared, or the things are not going according to the expectation. That's why you have this space, so you can make sure that your expectations are aligned and that everyone understands what will be happening on the experience. You have to make sure that they have a visa and a work permit if the country requires it. You have to help them with the arrival pickup. You have to help them with the accommodation, where will they be staying, and you have to have an incoming preparation that is also usually done in a seminar. Then comes the exchange standards. All of these are performed or delivered by the host entity. There are 7 standards. They also have a timeline, and some of them have to happen at the same time. So make sure that you are very aware of them and you are making sure that they are being delivered. There are 7 standards. The first one is the first day of work. You have to have alignment spaces with the opportunity provider. You have to make sure that the EP has a clear understanding of what the job description is, and also the opportunity provider, so they're not expecting different things. You have to make sure that the working hours are agreed on, that the duration is agreed on and respected, the opportunity benefits that the EP will have, or that the opportunity offers, and you also have to help them with departure support. So as I mentioned, these standards cover from the first day of work until the last day of the exchange, when you help them with the departure support. And then finally comes the standards that we have to deliver post their experience. So even though the experience is finished and the EP is back in their home country, we do have to have a debrief with ISEC to make sure that the experience was everything that they like asked for or that we promised. Um, so it's not like they just suddenly disappear and you never hear from them again. You have to follow up with them. And this is done by the home entity. So yes, there are 16 exchange standards overall. Make sure you know them all and make sure you're delivering them on time. You'll have a more detailed explanation on what each of these standard is and what it implies when we get to this session where we explain the tools that we will be using to audit these delivery. So yes, our ultimate goal is to mark an experience as complete. But how can we mark this experience as complete? A complete experience is a result of an experience that is realized and the fulfillment of at least 14 of these quality standards. So yes, we cannot mark an experience as complete even though it was realized and finished and whatever if we don't have the fulfillment of at least 14 of these quality standards. Why do I mention 14 of these quality standards when ideally we should be completing the 16? Well, there's four non-mandatory standards, which is the arrival pickup, the first day of work, the working hours, and the departure support. These are non-mandatory, which means obviously that's non-mandatory that if you don't follow them, we cannot penalize you or sanction you. But you should at least have 14 of these. So even though there's four that are non-mandatory, you might think that, oh, okay, I can just provide 12 of them then. No, you have to provide at least 14 of these 16 quality standards that we mentioned before, and any of these other two that you are not fulfilling, uh, they can only be one of these four. Like you cannot try to avoid delivering any other of these standards because that will be uh, a criteria that you're not following and you will not pass the audit, and also you're leaving your LC open for a possible quality case. That's not good. So yes, make sure you are delivering all of the standards and make sure you have for all of them because we will be asking for it. So that's it for this session. As I mentioned, a more in-depth explanation of each of these standards will be given on the next session where we explain the tools. But if you have any question or concern in the meanwhile, be sure to contact us and we will try to respond as soon as possible. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.